Good morning, stamping friends. Here we are at Saturday, Coffee and Create with Brenda. I hope you have your coffee in hand. I have a really fun project for us today, of course, as always, right? I always think everything about Stampin' Up! Is really fun, and I think you would too. So mentioning that, I am always looking for new customers, and I'm always looking for new team members. And I know the thought of joining Stampin' Up! Might be a little bit scary, but don't let the word demonstrator scare you, because honest, you don't have to demonstrate a thing. All you have to do is love to paper craft, and you need to love a deal. And right now, there is the best join offer out there. I'm just trying to find my little sheet of paper. Here it is, that tells about it. So the opportunity goes through the 31st of May. So you have a couple weeks to think about it. But if you've already been thinking about it, give me a shout, because I would love to help you become part of this stamping community. Great people, great it's where friendships grow. It's a pretty cool community. Anyway, right now you can join for $99 plus tax. So here in Minnesota, it ends up being like maybe $107 by the time you do tax. Shipping is free, and you pick $155 worth of product out of either the January through June mini catalog or the brand new annual catalog. It really is one of the best offers I've seen since I have been a demonstrator. So, but like I said too, don't let that demonstrator word scare you, because you don't have to demonstrate a thing. You just have to love to make paper crafts, whether they're 3D projects or greeting cards, and you like to gather with friends and have fun. So anyway, I would love to have you be part of the Create with Brenda team, and if you're interested, please reach out. All right, enough about that. This new catalog is so fun. I'm going to switch you down to my workstation, and we'll get started. I'll start showing you the products I'm going to use today, and we'll go from there. The other thing too, as you know, my host code is, let's see, right there. And this month, when you order, or your order totals $50 or more, and you use my host code, I am going to send you one of the silicone craft sheets. I'm going to flip down so you can see it. Here we go. Send you one of the silicone craft sheets. These are awesome. They are very flexible. They work well as a shim in some of the die cutting machines. They're awesome for hot gluing. So, and any kind of adhesive. It doesn't stick to your work surface, and it doesn't stick to the silicone mat. It also works well for our photopolymer stamps, just to give that little extra cushion that they need sometimes to get that sharp image. So $50 product order or more, use my monthly host code up there. I send you the craft sheet free, just for shopping with me. All right. Oh, one other note there. If your order is over $150, don't use the host code. You'll get your own stamping rewards, and I still send you this month's host gift. So, all right, here we go, guys. Coffee. Yum. Hot coffee. All right. Today, we're going to be using the designer series paper called Sweet Symmetry. I'm going to get rid of my host code up there so we can see. All right. So here's the Sweet Symmetry paper. And today I'm going to be using front and back. That's how I set these up. So this is the front side of the paper, this is the back. And you get two 12 by 12 sheets of each of these combinations. And today I chose to use this. Navy, like yellow and navy blue are like seriously one of my favorite combinations outside of, I really do love like black, white, and red. But today we'll be using this. The colors that coordinate with the Sweet Symmetry paper are Bumblebee, Calypso Coral, Flirty Flamingo, Night of Navy, and then the Soft Succulent. I have to check for sure on the Flirty Flamingo. That's right. We have a few pinks out there now, and sometimes it's kind of hard to zero in on which one, but it is Flirty Flamingo. So let's get started with our project. The products I'm going to use are this new photopolymer stamp set called Biggest Wish. And I'll show you how that's used. It's really quite fun. I'm going to be using this little sentiment from Inspired Thoughts and it says, "Thinking of you on your special day." I'm making birthday cards. And then we're going to be using the tailor-made tag dies. These are super fun, guys. I have a couple missing out of here because I have them set up for die cutting. But you get 4 layering tags. This one with the, I don't know what you call it, kind of that angled corner. And then this one has a more decorative corner. And you get these fun little pieces that you can die cut to do, and I'll show you how that works. So this is this one, and it just fits on the end of the tag. And then these are like those circle reinforcers to add to the tags. It seems putsy, but it adds a lot of character to your card. So the pieces that you're going to need, well, let's show you the card. So here's the card we're going to make today. Looks like this. And then I'm just going to stamp a couple of those little X's on the envelope flap. So let me show you how this all goes. You'll need a medium-sized basic white envelope. I have just a little scrap. It's a 1/4 inch thick, and I cut it to measure. No, I didn't. I just left it, and I'm going to put that right along the edge of my the edge of my insert. Okay, so you're going to need, I used Night of Navy that measures 5.5 by 8.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. I have 2 pieces of Bumblebee that measure 3 3/4 by 5 inches. I have 2 pieces that measure 3.5 by 4 3/4. One is our designer series paper, and then the other is just the basic white. All right, so that's what we need. Let's start, as always, by folding our card base, Night of Navy. So there's that. And then I'm going to take our designer, this card is really pretty quick and easy. I'm going to take our designer series paper and add some Stamp and Seal to the back of that. Okay, then add seal to that, and center it on the front of our card. So there we go. All right, next I'm going to take our other 3.5 by 4 3/4 basic white piece, I'm just going to add some adhesive to the back. Before I do that, I just want to add a little bit of our liquid glue to the edge. Wrong side. So, opening a fishing today. Hubbies are fishing. Maybe the wives are too. If you're not, it's not very nice out right now. So it's a great day to craft. Although, I think every day is a great day to craft, don't you? All right, so there's our, I don't have that exactly straight now, do I? All right, let's stamp our sentiment on there. I'm going to bring in our Native Navy and that cute little sentiment from Inspired Thoughts. Cute, cute, cute. And then I think to bring the color through, I'm going to bring in Calypso Coral. And I'm using those little crosses from the Biggest Wishes or Biggest Wish set. I'm just going to add a little here and a little there. And it just gives it that perfect birthday sprinkle, doesn't it? And while I've got this out, I'm just going to give a little stamp on the flap of my envelope too. Just a little something, something. I feel like the paper on the front is busy enough that I don't really need a whole lot to jazz it up. We're going to put this on the inside, just like that. And now let's work with our tags. So when I was doing this, I couldn't decide if I should stamp on the paper first and then die cut it, or die cut it and stamp. And I ended up liking the idea of die cutting and then stamping, because then I knew everything fit in the tag. So as what I have here is just a piece of that Designer Series paper, and I cut it to fit the largest tag. Then I took the second largest tag on a piece of scrap basic white, and I'm going to cut these out just because they're fun. These are those little circles that I was telling you about, like the reinforcement pieces on the tag. So I'm going to lay that there, and then take my other cutting plate and just put it in here, making sure my dies stayed where they were supposed to. Whoops, sorry about the noise. I have too much stuff in front of me, I think. That's the problem. All right. That popping noise is normal. A lot of times, if you're new to die cutting, you're just like, oh, I think I just broke something, but not the case. So here's our tag that we're going to stamp on. Here's our Designer Series tag. And here are those adorable, I just like to drop them like that, and it pops the circles out of the die. If you don't want to flip your dies around like I do, there are holes in the back, and that's what they're for, is to pop the die cuts out. And I just used my take your pick tool to get those out. Let's move the boss, the Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine, out of the way. and start stamping and assembling our tag. All right. So this one I'm not going to do anything with because it's on the bottom. I'll bring this back in so you can see it. And I'm going to take the birthday greeting, or the big birthday stamp. And I don't know if you noticed when I had this in the picture, but you get a small birthday and a large birthday. So you get a small and a large stamp of each of these sentiments, which is really kind of fun to be able to go back and forth. Maybe I wanted to do a large happy with a little birthday, but I decided to go this route, and I really was having trouble figuring out color combinations. It's like, should I do the birthday yellow? Should I do the happy? I don't know. I did lots of color combinations, and this is the one that I liked the best. So I'm inking up using Calypso Coral, and I've got the big birthday sentiment. I'm going to stamp right here. And then I'm going to take the Night of Navy, and I'm going to use that little scripted happy cursive, whatever, however you call it. And I'm just going to put that at an angle here. Now I think that's a super cute look. I love the big print, or the big font, and the little font together. Plus I think it really like jumps out at you for getting that happy birthday out there. Now I want to clean my stamp quickly because I had dipped that in Calypso Coral. And on the tag itself, I want to use this Bumblebee ink. So I'm just going to give a little stamp here. And here. Yeah, I like it. So what do you think so far? Good? Give me a thumbs up. Give me a like. Be sure to comment on there. That's how this whole Facebook thing works, you know. I wish I could be live so that I could actually see your comments and play along, but as we know, my internet does not allow for lives. It just is too slow for that. The joys of living in the wild woods, right? Okay. So did you see I just glued that little tag on, or that little reinforcing circle on there? I just think it adds a lot to the card. All right. So our next thing is the Bumblebee gingham ribbon, and it works perfectly with the hole that is automatically cut when we die cut the tag. I'm just going to feed my ribbon through, having my printed paper in the back, and then my stamped, or my printed tag in the back, and my stamped tag on top. And I'm just going to leave enough. Whoops, I was afraid I didn't give that enough time. I just pulled that reinforcing circle up. So I'm going to just give that a minute, but I'm going to make sure that I give myself enough ribbon here to tie a bow. And this should be ready. The liquid glue does set up pretty quickly. It's just that I hadn't pressed on it long enough to help it adhere. So I'm just going to tie a little bow here for us. And you don't have to do a bow. You can just simply tie a knot. You know, I learned a thing the other day that if you tie, let's see if it works. if you tie your bow, you know I've got this upside down. I'm doing that on purpose. So it said if you tied your bow upside down on your project, then your tails and your bow would be going, whoops, should have left well enough alone. Then your tails and your loops on your bow will be going in the right direction. So let's see if it worked. It did. Perfect. I'm just adjusting those little loops so they're not, I want them just a little bit smaller. I like that. So I'm going to diagonal cut my tail. I think I got kind of lucky there because I didn't use my ribbon scissors for that. Now I'm going to add Stampin' Seal on the back of this. And I'm just going to place that at an angle, kind of pointing down. And then I'm going to bring in my dimensionals. Ooh, a new sheet. That means I've been stamping a lot. And I'm going to add the dimensionals to the back, taking the backing off. And then I'm just going to angle this one up a little bit. Maybe that's more than I wanted. There we go. So that it angles on the card. I won't move that around because that's a lot of pattern and it's moving and it kind of makes you sick. But there's the inside and the coordinating envelope. Thanks for having coffee with me, you guys. It was a good morning. It's a good morning. And I've got my host code up there for you. Nope, I keep pointing the wrong way. Host code up there. My blog, Create with Brenda, there. If you have any questions or you seriously want to join my team, come on, I'd love to have you. All right, have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you next Saturday. Bye-bye.